What is up, YouTube? So, I want to talk about this book here. Magic. Wait, is it? The Magic Thinking Big. Oh my god, that's totally messed it up. The reason why I wanted to talk about this book is because this book has. I'm gonna look at this camera. This book has changed the way that I looked into, the way I think, also the mindset, and this book was brought to my attention 10 years ago when I was doing network marketing. At the time, I was struggling with personal development and self help because everybody needs it, but do they really want to, do they really want to pursue in personal development? And so I want to bring this book to everyone's attention, especially on this channel, because I talked about personal development in the beginning and how to persevere and be more consistent, be more precise, and just changing your mindset around being more positive behavior and your habits too. So I just want to go over the first chapter, because if you don't understand the first chapter, then you're not gonna get, like I said, you're not gonna get anywhere. So I want to be able to, let's see. So for chapter, if you guys have this book, like I said, if you guys have this book, you can also get like a free PDF file too. So the first chapter talks, well, right here, I have a lot of stuff highlighted, but it talks about, believe you can succeed and you will. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't build that self inner confidence within yourself, you're not going to get there. And that's where it starts from. Like, I want to read this quote here that's from the book. Some of the most practical. No wait, I'll start. Every human being wants success. Everybody wants the best this life can deliver. Nobody enjoys crawling, right? Living in mediocrity, yeah. And no one likes feeling second class and feeling forced to go that way. Some of the most practical success building wisdom is found in the biblical quotation stating that faith can move mountains. Really believe you can move a mountain, and you can. Not many people believe that they can move mountains, so as a result, not many people do. And that's like on page 17 on chapter 1. So it's really critical to understand what it's saying and how you're going to overcome your own challenges within your mind. It has nothing to do with physical demand of your physical ability of your body. So that is another thing. And I don't know if you guys probably should have brought my mic down here. So I don't know if you guys can hear me talking, but I hope so. So I want to go to page 19, right? It says strong belief triggers that the mind to figuring the ways and means to how to, and believing you can succeed makes others place confidence in you. Let's see what else. I'll go back to page 18. You can't wish yourself into a position of leadership, right? So that's another, powerful thing, the powerful quote that talks about that. Let's see what else. I'm just kind of rambling into chapter 1. So on page 20, this is another critical, quote that says those who believe they can move mountains do. Those who believe they cannot believe triggers the power to do. The most essential element, in fact, the essential element in our space explorations today is belief that space can be mastered. Without firm, unwavering belief that man can travel in space, our scientists would not have the courage, interest, and enthusiasm to proceed. Belief that cancer can cure will ultimately, right? Yeah, cancer can cure will ultimately produce cures for cancer. Currently, there is some talk of building a tunnel under the English Channel to connect England with the continent. Whether this tunnel is ever built depends on whether responsible people believe it can be built. So under the second paragraph, it talks about belief in great results is the driving force, the power behind all great books, plays, scientific discoveries. Belief in success is behind every successful business, church, and political organization. Belief in success is the one basic, absolute, essential ingredient in successful people. Believe, really believe you can succeed, and you will. And then they talk about, doubting, right? Doubting yourself, worrying about success, kind of having negative thoughts towards not getting there, getting to the finish line. And so let's see, I want to try I'm like I said, I'm not gonna read the whole chapter to you guys, because if you seriously want to personally grow yourself mentally, not physically, personally grow yourself mentally, then yes, this is the book. And I would highly recommend for everybody to read this, or just reread some of the chapters that you think is really important to you. So looking at the camera there. Let's see here. Want to be able. Yeah, on page 26 it says, "Think success, don't think failure." I can do it, right? Instead of saying I can't do it. On the number 2 paragraph says, "Remind yourself regularly that you are better than you think you are. Successful people are not superhuman. Success does not require super intellect, nor is there anything mystical about success, and success isn't based on luck. Successful people are just ordinary folks who have developed belief in themselves, and they just do it." Right? Never sell yourself short. Number 3, believe big. The size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. Think little goals and expect little achievements. Think big goals and win big success. Remember this too. Big ideas and big plans are often easier, certainly no more difficult than small ideas and small plans. Let's see here. On page 27 at the bottom, one important purpose of this book is to help you train yourself to observe, to develop deep insight into human action. You want to ask yourself questions like, why is John so successful and Tom just getting by? Why do some people have friends and other people have only few friends? Why will people gladly accept what one person tells them, but ignore another person who tells them the same thing? Once trained, you will learn valuable lessons through the very simple process of observing. Let's see here. Your objective is to make successful action habitual. All right, so creating your own success habits, creating your own positive behavior with positive habits, and doing this on a regular basis. I have to say, have I not read this book? Man, I was given this book 10 years ago. I decided not to read this until 5 years later. Had I read it when I first got it, I would be, at a higher level of success, more positive thinking, right? And doing, more self-development. So I just want to put out there that, like I said, this is something that people need, but they don't do it on a regular basis. And most negative, toxic people don't even put themselves out there anyways. They're just keyboard warriors, and they just type a lot of hate comments. I want you guys to understand that, if you choose to redevelop who you are, and you're willing to, make the best choices, positive choices, right? The best, sacrifices, because there are sacrifices along the way, to get there, especially in any success, right? In any business. So it doesn't have to be Forex, like I said. It could be anything that you wanted to pursue in life, your passion, right? So, and I want you guys to really have a deep thought and deep thinking on this, because if you choose to be the same person that you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. You can make a big impact within 30 days if you decide to make the change, right? You don't start seeing results right away within the first couple of days, but after, 2, 3 weeks, then you be like, holy crap, not doing, I'm starting to change my schedule into having my priorities done, right? And I'm making more positive habits and more positive changes versus taking things, to a negative route. And so we all have done negative things. We all have done, bad things. We all have done, bad habits. We have poor habits, whatever. So whatever you guys look at it that way, but it's to really, basically, if you can't change your mindset, you're not going to change the way you do action anyways, right? Because whatever you're thinking, if you're thinking about negative things, if I'm thinking about doing negative things, obviously I'm just going to be doing negative things, right? If I think negative, I'm going to do negative. If I think positive, I'm going to do positive, right? And so, I mean, there's other books. Like I said, I have other books. This is just the first book I want to talk about because this is a life-changing book that I've read. And I never thought that if you change your mindset that you could, grow yourself mentally to be much more positive mentally. And everything starts here. So once you build your mindset, then you're gonna start expanding, like networking with people, right? With the right people, having the right business opportunities, even personal relationships with the right people. Yeah. And so personal and business. So that's what it comes down to. And like I said, I'll touch base on a little bit about on my experience later on, but I just want to talk about this book because this is one of the game changers right here. Game changers. So whether you believe me or not, that's fine. Like I said, whether you want to take your chances on reading a book or not, that's on you. Like I said, I don't force nobody to do any self-development whatsoever because that's totally on them if they choose so. Like I said, 10 years ago, I would never do it. And then it took me 5 years later down the road to actually start doing some kind of personal development. So if you were, let's do the math. If I was 22, I was 22 when I got out of the military. I didn't do much personal development, but 5 years later. So I was given that book when I was 22. And by the time I was like 27, I started taking life a little bit more serious, right? And started doing more personal development. And I'm going to be 32 this year. Isn't that crazy? It's been about 10 years, right? So 10 years, guys. It's crazy. So 10 years. So I don't know. Some people would never, ever do any personal development for the rest of their lives, right? How many people actually pick up a book and actually read a book? Very, very few people after high school actually pick up a self-help book to actually read. I would be honest about that. I mean, I don't even know if kids in college actually even do personal development these days. So I'll just be honest, guys. Like I said, it is totally, your decision whether I'm looking at the camera, you want to do it. So that's it. And I'm just giving out, I know, like I said, I do plan on, I'm going to try my best to do this every Saturday and then try to do something on Sunday and then something throughout the week. And so I did say I was going to quit quit videos, but I don't want to quit. If I quit this, I might as well quit everything, right? You can't be a quitter. So other than that, I hope you guys have a great Saturday. Peace.